Okay.
Takes. You are live. Hi, Janet. Hello, hello. Um, we'll give people a couple of minutes to see if they click on here. Um,
Get the glare gone. Jeez.
Janet, this is May the Force be with you in the chat. You've probably
Hello.
seen her around. I don't know,
Oh, you've seen
but
me blabbing around. I don't
um,
keep my mouth
I'm
shut on
glad
those comments.
I'm glad you're here, Janet. I'm just gonna give people a couple of minutes to see if they show up.
I won't be able to see your chat, right? That's not going to happen on my
I
end.
don't know how that works.
Okay. I only see, well, I could, well, hold on. I'm new to this, Janet. Patience. There you go. Hello. She said hello.
Yeah,
So
and
if I
listen,
join the chat, can I do something like say hi, guys, or something like that?
yeah, yeah.
All right. I'm going to do hi,
Now,
guys.
now they are. There's a 10-minute, I mean a 10-second delay. So if
Join the chat. Connect to the chat.
if I ask them a question, then it takes 10 seconds to get the answer back. So there's a delay, which is
Well, I wouldn't. You're going to control it all. I was just going to do one
yeah,
hello and call it.
yeah.
Let me see. Let's continue. I'm going into the. I have to sign in to get on chat. Allow.
Is it letting you?
Yeah, there was three things I had to click already, and that just gave me a green thing. Okay, good. Okay. Oh shoot, I always forget it's not that keyboard.
I don't even know. Oh, okay. I think Janet was gone, but now she's here. Now there's two people here. So we'll just give it a couple more minutes if that's okay with you
Very. Yeah.
guys. There you are.
There I am.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I did type it right. Okay, good. I wasn't sure.
What type? What?
Um, may the force be with you.
Oh, you
I
did. You
I put the
did.
space in the right place and
And I
everything.
wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. I made that name up just because I felt like it was, fun.
Janet, your brother is a narcissist? I think a lot of us
My
know
brother,
one
big
or
time
two.
one. Oh, I'm blurry. There we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna
I
lean
feel for
back
you,
a little
Janet.
too.
I feel for you.
People will start filtering in.
I was going to ask a quick question and just see if Janet knows about Dr. Romney on YouTube. Have you heard of
Have
Dr.
you heard of
Romney?
it? That's a woman. Um,
She's like a
doctor.
premier expert, way up there in all things narcissism.
It's hard to get away because
I
that would break
understand.
my mother's heart if
Yeah,
she is
I
still
understand.
alive.
I understand. Well, if you listen to Dr. Romney, you can stay sane in that space on YouTube. She's free. Hi,
Hi,
Pup
Jen.
Groomer. Hi. Hi, Pup Groomer.
Welcome, Jen.
Pup
There's
Groomer
three
of the
people here
famous
now. I'm just going to
flyers.
give it like 2 more minutes before we
So I'm
start
going to type
to.
it in here. Dr. Romney. Dr. Oops.
Okay.
You guys have to
Um,
remind me it's not that keyboard. It's not that keyboard. Dr. Oopsies. Bacher.
we'll start in
Dr.
about 2 minutes, you guys. I'm
Romney.
just trying to give people a chance to get
YouTube.
here. Finish my cigarette. I'm
There
so
we
sorry.
go. I
I'm like the casual, um,
love it. I love
the
it. Got my
casual.
water. I'm trying not to make you guys seasick. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'll calm down a little bit.
This is her first time on, so oh gosh, I remember the first few times how nervous I was. Oh God, it
You
was
did
terrible. And
great.
I was on by myself. That's
I thought for
worse.
saying all the things you said, how nervous you were, and you did great. In my opinion, it was watchable. It was authentic. That's what matters. What do
Okay,
you guys think?
now there's one person here, so I don't know what's going on.
Jen, is that
So
Jen is Pup Grimmer?
yeah.
Hi,
Hi
poet.
Brian,
Hi,
welcome.
poet.
We
Poet
are
poetry.
we are
Love the
giving
poetry.
it 1 more minute before we start,
I
Brian,
want to
to
stop
try
the
to let
glare.
people trickle in.
Mm. Wonder if I can do this without eyes. Not so easy. That's like I might get used to it, but oh Lord, that's hard.
I
Y'all
have
are
to
a blur.
wear my glasses more and more.
Yep, I got three pairs nowadays. Okay.
I have about
Any
10
you
pair.
guys have any questions up front? Because I know what our format is. Kelly's going to tell us how this is going to roll. But I think if you had questions, or like Janet mentioned her brother, I got one of those, and like she's in the predicament because her mom, understandable.
Right. Well, okay. What
It's heartache.
I'm just we'll start. This is Dre,
Let's get
and
this started.
in the chat,
Yeah, guys.
she is May the Force be with you. You have probably seen her around. I mean, she goes into a lot of the chats that all of us go into.
I'm a hippie. We're
So
the same. We're the same age. I'm older than Kelly.
by a few months.
But yeah, my son is 2 days before Kelly's birthday, and they're Virgos.
Yep. Anyway, we
Hmm.
had like a 2 or 3 hour phone conversation. Was it last night? Yeah, last
I
night.
think so. Yeah,
But
that was fun.
anyway, so you know a lot about narcissism,
Oh yeah.
and
Well, here's the
um,
thing. Learning about it saved my life. I'll say it that way.
okay, well that's good to
That's
know.
why I know about
How did it
narcissists.
save your life? Like, what
I
do you
had
mean?
to find out why I was going crazy when I know I have a right to the life I want to live. And why are these people meddling in it? Why does anybody have a say about
Okay,
me? Like I was
how
like,
old were you?
oh, it took my whole life, you guys. I mean,
Oh, did it?
it's been a whole lifetime. I'm
Yeah,
61, and
but I mean, like to figure out that you
like,
were dealing with narcissism.
well,
Um,
so back in the day, because my dad has a big ego and was a domineering patriarch type man and very rageful. I would call him a rageaholic. We dealt with all that. We called him a narcissist, but it
oh,
turns out the creepy under one was my mom. She's a covert narcissist. But time had to catch up to me. I knew a lot was wrong. No books had
right,
been written about it. No therapist would talk about it. And I think this is the day has come. It's like finally everybody knows there's different kinds of narcissists.
right,
There's people we don't ever get diagnosed as that, but you can see it from all the behaviors they do.
right.
Um, and and the fact that they don't go to therapy, they won't fix themselves because guess what? They're
Oh, because
narcissists.
they don't need it.
There's nothing wrong with them.
Exactly.
You just need to do what they want, and then they move the goalpost. So you did it. Guess
And
what?
it's not their fault ever.
It's
It's
like
never their
it's like
fault.
Lucy and Charlie Brown, and then the football, and that was me. I was Charlie, and my mom was Lucy, and it was
Oh,
like, really, are we having fun now, lady? Because I'd like to get on with my fucking life. I'm sorry,
oh my
F bomb already.
goodness.
Sorry.
So
Yeah,
let me ask you this: as far as covert,
covert.
covert
Yeah, yeah.
narcissism goes, is that does that mean it's harder to recognize, or what is
It's
the
it's
covert
just that it's different.
covert part?
Covert, yeah, like a covert operative. It's different. It's like if you're saying, "Oh my gosh, this person's all egotistical and full of themselves," and then you see somebody doing what my mom was, which was, "Poor me, I'm a victim," but really not letting you ever go, like just hangs on to, oh, well, you should be like this, and you don't do enough of that. That you have no say because poor them. Like they have a big wound and they tell you about it. They hook you in with the wound. It could be a partner, it could be your whole lifetime, like me with my parent. So my mom had a big wound. Her mom died when she was 8. She was left in a convent. I mean, poor mom,
And so she
poor
used
mommy.
that. She
She grew up
used that.
without a mommy. And so, yeah. So she's full of like clinginess, neediness. I always felt like a spider web was hanging on to me everywhere. I was like,
Wow,
I got to go to Tierra del Fuego to get away from her. I can't have her.
wow,
Like, I didn't want her, contacting me, but I didn't want to leave her either because poor mommy. Poor mommy.
right,
But
right,
they play games like nobody's business. They are so good at it. It's survival mechanism for them. It's all second nature, and it's like it's like the only thing that can happen is you realize it and get out of the crosshairs.
right.
They will never stop. I could have never said to my mom, "Hey, mom, I've given you 60 years. We're cool, right? Like I can go now, right? Okay, peace out." No, that was
Right.
never going to happen. She sent in
So,
my brother, another narcissist. She sent him in as a flying monkey. Um, he triangulated with my son. They took him away from me in high school, promising all kinds of crap.
And
Um,
your son's 20 now or
21.
12?
He's 1 year older than your son. It's so cute, you guys.
Right,
We have the
right,
same
right.
age kid. We both had him, basically raised him alone. I mean, it's just amazing. Like Kelly and I are
Yeah, our
similar.
lives parallel in a lot of
Yes.
ways.
Yes.
um, oh, what was I going to ask
Hi,
you?
Don Gloves,
Yeah, hi
RNSP.
Dawn, welcome. It's funny, Brian said that he said it sounds like my ex-wife.
It's always her way or the highway. You take the highway. Bye. Route 66 out the
Eventually,
back,
yeah,
babe. No, I mean,
yeah.
you kind of like you either treat them with kid gloves because they're gonna rage. They're gonna my mom raged at me in her 80s. And I was like, really? Really? You're gonna after all I've done, mom, after all
Right.
my master's degree,
Oh,
my job, blah, blah, do, boop, boop, every little thing. I'm more than my mom will ever be in terms of all these accomplishments. But guess what? I talk too much. Oh, now you found a new.
but
Oh,
that's what I
that's
was
the
going to
new one.
ask you.
Uh,
You finally had to stop having her in your life, right?
yeah, I went no contact when she had my brother come up here, triangulated with my son, fed him a bunch of poison, was really betraying me as a mother, a single parent. I'm a single parent. I had my master's degree when I had him. I was 40 years old, similar to Kelly. Um, and I, I don't understand. I was like, I let you, you're 70 when he was born, mother.
How
You
long
got to
ago
have,
was
I
that?
brought the glory of this child in your life, and you're going to do what?
Yeah, it's her only grandchild.
Yeah, her only grandchild, my brother, thank God, thank the dear Lord, he has no children. He would be
And how
horrible.
long ago did you have to do the no
This
contact
is
thing with
about
her?
well, so my son's 21, so it was when he was 16, 15, so
Okay.
2018, something like that.
Right,
Um,
right.
but I can't even begin to tell you everything's textbook. Buy the book. If you read any book or see any podcast or anything on narcissism, here's what they do. Yeah, that all went on with me. So they bust every boundary. They smear campaign you so that my son would
Mhm.
once in a while come over and go, you got this, well, you got your college, blah, blah, blah. I go, son, I don't know who's feeding you these lies, but none of that went on. Let me tell you the truth. So
Oh,
you're always backed into a corner going, when's the last time you beat your wife? You know, they do this, right? These real weird games. And my brother
yeah.
would come over at 10 at night and disrupt my son. And then he would be not going to school the next day. And I was like, what
Oh,
are you
wow.
doing here? Get out of here. So finally, it took a long time. It was really hard, like your son and you. But I counted on my son seeing their side, that bad side of them, where they're so materialistic and they're using
Right.
him for his, because he was rowing, he was on crew and he was winning medals. They were bragging
He
about
was what?
winning like
Rowing?
first place in rowing, like on crew.
What
You
kind
know,
of
those
boat?
like it's called the Varsity 8, the V8, or well, first he was a
Oh,
freshman, and then he was in the JV, and then he was in the varsity. But he was always winning medals in Seattle, where that's the big like boys in the
right.
boat place, where my dad had rowed in college also. Then my parents
Oh,
met at
wow.
University of Washington. Anyway, not mean to talk about me this whole time, but just
No, no, no,
a
we are.
backstory on the
We
whole thing. It
are.
became tragic. And the more I knew about narcissism, in spite of knowing all this was going on, and I was just like, ah.
Right.
So I made it, what it did was it forced me into more Dr. Romney. And I finally got to the point where I was like, I can do this. I know the right
Right.
words to say. Like I
Right.
had no words coming out. I was a total deer in the headlights. But that's how they get you.
Right. And
Yeah.
Jen says, I wound up homeless because I eventually started saying no to my mother. She disowned me about 2.5 years ago, but has reached out every few months for one reason or another
Ever since.
kept at it. Ever since I've
So
kept at it.
she disowned you. Oh my gosh, that's
See, that's what my
painful.
mom did too.
I
I'd
know,
call
I
it
know.
disconnect. She disconnected from me. She put me on the street,
It
crippled
is,
in a
yeah. So
wheelchair.
Kelly was homeless. I was homeless for 2.5 years with my son when he was 11, 12, 12 to 14, because circumstances just, that time when the jobs were scarce and I got laid off and on and on. But Kelly was on the streets of Austin.
I didn't even have
Um,
a car. I mean, I literally had a
that's
manual
awful.
wheelchair.
That's awful.
It was awful. And
I mean, listen, your bike accident could be any of us, anybody that's sporty,
yeah,
anybody. I could have died on the ski slopes a million times growing up.
right, right,
I mean,
yeah,
I could have been hit by like sliding down a ski slope without my skis on, fallen, and I could have hit a rock and it could have made me
yeah,
paralyzed too.
yeah.
So we're all like one, accident
One
away.
fall away. One fall away.
Right. No, and seriously, I've had some really bad, and a lot of us that are sporty and whatever grew up with athletics. We could all be paralyzed. So I might
Jen
have a lot of
says,
empathy for you.
Jen said, honestly, it's been the most peace I've had my whole life,
That is amazing to
not
say, Jen,
having her in my life.
because
Um,
honestly,
and
isn't it
Janet,
amazing? Like, I don't fear my mom's phone calling me. I used to hold my middle finger at my phone when she'd be on the phone, and I'd hold it away from my ear and I'd listen. And I'd go, oh, for the love of God, just the manipulative voice and the manipulative things and getting me to do just like I'm a puppet and she's got strings on me and just boop, boop, boop. Oh, I'm bored today. What can I do to my daughter? And this was going on in my
I just
20s,
miss
30s,
like
40s.
going for Christmas and Thanksgiving, to the
Oh
family.
God, Chris is
Because
my mother. Ugh,
that's where my son goes. And I haven't had a
yeah.
Christmas with him in 5 years.
I hadn't either. Honestly, I hadn't either. And he came for 1 hour and he said they wouldn't buy me a gift this year, mom. And all I asked for was a business suit so I could get a job. And that's when he quit. He goes, a year later, he goes, they betrayed us, mom. A lot more went down. But anyway,
Yeah.
Ellie, you can put a
Janet
link up
says, my brother is
there.
always right, is always the victim,
Oh,
and
yeah.
has
Oh, yeah.
explosive anger. We
Yep.
all walk on eggshells,
Yep.
and everyone else is to blame, of course,
Yep.
for his problems. Yep. And he's
He needs a
violent too.
restraining order
Wow.
at some point, Janet. Your mom's too old for that effing crap. I
Can
mean,
you
really.
put up a link to her channel?
I think she's maybe mentioning Dr. Romney. I don't have a channel, you guys. I don't have a channel. I
Um,
think it might interfere with my job.
she did put her name in the,
Yeah, I
how do
put her
you
name
spell it
in,
again?
but Dr.
I'll write it
Romney,
again.
RAM
Dr.
Romney,
Ramani.
I think. No, I think it's, I don't see it anyway. But I was going to say to
Here, you look
Janet
it up and then I'll.
yeah, I'll put it on here again. Okay. Wait, that's my ex in a nutshell. Yeah, you guys, I was
Okay,
with
good,
somebody
good.
who was violent. My brother's the only violent person in my life besides my dad. But then along came an ex, and she just, ugh. Okay, so Dr. Romney is her name. There you go. Um, and then
John
just
has a
put her
half
in.
sister whose antics would boggle the mind. Isn't
Oh,
it funny?
John,
Like
I'm so sorry.
we all have someone, at least one
Oh,
person
me. Okay, so
in our
I
lives
don't
that
have
we
a
know.
channel. I talked about not even having like not even going out protesting, maybe just to protect protesters with the phone because my job is with the state of California and in our I love it there and I love what I do. It's just that they require us to represent our agency 24/7. So I can't go out of the bounds of being a state employee on my own time, if that makes any sense.
Right,
It may sound
right.
kind of weird, but and I honestly love it because I work where Danny Masterson is. I work on the prison construction. So I'm not going into the prisons, and a lot of people around me are, which is why we got COVID in the office a million times. But I work with the California State Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, and it's balancing $1 million projects budgets is what I do.
Wow, wow.
So and I
You
love
mean
it
like
because
projects for the prisoners?
no, those are done a
Oh,
lot. Those are great, actually. There's some really great reform going on
yeah,
for people who can handle it, that want it. But it's so these prisons, some of them are super old, like San Quentin.
yeah.
But then in the middle of redoing San Quentin's mess, that is what San Quentin it is falling apart.
Right.
They decided we're going to go with this new model called the California model. And I don't know if anybody's read about it or heard about it, but anyway,
Mm-mm.
it was based on what Norway does. And I heard you
Oh,
last
wow.
night talking about there's no weapons on the police
Right,
officers in
right.
Norway. My dad's Norwegian. I've been there a lot. I went to school there at one point. Um,
Oh.
yeah,
Well,
my
that's
mom's
where
dad's from there.
Maya that comes in the
Yes, and
chat.
Maya's from Norway.
Right.
So what we noticed was You're talking about California compared to Norway. I mean, it just boggles my mind. But it's amazing what's been able to be accomplished already. So they're renovating San Quentin into a education and vocation center.
Wow.
Our tax
That's
dollars are
where
at work.
all the lifers are there?
They moved them
Or
all out. They're all gone. There's nobody that's going to get. There's no more death penalty, and hasn't been for a while. I don't remember
really?
when. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh,
Jerry Brown. You remember Jerry Brown? He dated
yeah.
Linda Ronstadt. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was our gov before this whack a doodle, um, which I
Well,
can say.
y'all have a real
I
doozy
can
right
say
now.
that about my governor if I want to. But no, we did we're doing the thing, the Norwegian model, and
Wow.
it's been a lesson. One of the nicest things about it is we're teaching trauma informed care.
Ah.
And you
Oh,
know how it
cool.
was trauma is a big deal. Everybody carries trauma that was ever not just like, ooh, tiger, and then run and then calm down. It's like if you're working in a prison, if your current spouse or your parents were, or your brother is, or whomever is this, trigger, like just trigger happy. You never know when they're
Yeah.
going to go off.
Yeah.
And they know no bounds, like they have no social norms. So that's my brother. But he prefers to look like the good guy. So he only blows his gasket every now and then. But there's laws against this. It's called domestic violence, and it's
Yep.
not okay. It's not okay to intimidate. It's not even okay to give an intimidating look, like you say one word, I'm gonna. It's not allowed. It's not legal. There's penalties in the law against it. Now I don't know every state's laws, but California has some
Yeah.
nice penalties for that.
Let me
So
read let me read the
so I
chat
don't
a
mean to.
minute.
Yeah, I don't mean to pass up on the
No, that's
chat, you guys.
fine. Don says, yeah, that limits what you can do. My brother wouldn't let me go to Denver
That's
F.
Scientology.
Sciento when I was in Colorado because he has government
Well,
clearances.
I don't
Wow.
know why it would even affect him, but oh my God, so your brother has more control than any. See, you poor thing. I feel so bad.
Janet says, I have control over my environment because I live far away. Thank goodness. I only have to deal with him when I'm visiting my mother. My mother would never cut him off. He's her
Well,
golden child. Oh,
that's
wow.
right.
Is it just you two, Janet? Just you and your brother, or do you have more siblings? And
Yeah, Pup
Dawn,
remembers yourself.
Dawn says, wow, I hope it really works for us in California. That's right. You live in LA, right, Dawn?
Dawn
She says,
is
that's kind of
in,
why I'm glad I work for myself.
oh, us,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Janet, I know you're in Canada.
So go back up if you can. I just want to see if, because I know Poet was in here too, and I just wanted to see. I don't want to miss what you guys are asking or saying. Does it go back up? It doesn't let you.
just
I'm
right
new,
there.
you guys. This is my first
That's
ever.
my ex in a nutshell. It's the last thing that he wrote. So,
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead, Kelly. What we thought about doing was Kelly telling me or talking to you guys about her partner,
oh
XXX.
gosh, I don't even know where to start with him.
Or you can go to your
Let
mom,
me tell
I
them the
mean,
story. So listen. So I got my paperwork in order last night, and I had a file in here. Um, it was a lot of journal entries just on sheets of paper that I ripped out of a notebook, and this one fell on the floor, and he is so nosy. So listen,
don't mean to laugh.
a couple of months ago, I had one of my journals in my either my bedroom or no, I think it was in my studio, and he um, found the need to read it. And of course, it was horrible stuff that I write about him when I'm very angry. So I don't yell at him or cause a argument. But usually we argue and then I go journal. So, but anyway, so this had fallen on the floor and I decided just to leave it there because I thought he had learned his lesson not to read my stuff because I told him it's none of your business, and he tried to convince me that I was wrong for journaling, that people don't do that. Anyway, so he picked it up today, and of course he read it, and y'all, it's terrible. And so I asked him if I could borrow money to go get cigarettes because I am out of money already. And what is it, the 21st of the month? And he was so mad at me about something, but I didn't ask. And so he walks in here a little while before we came on and hands this to me and said, "Is that something you wrote today?" I'm like, I acted like I didn't know what it was. And I'm like, I think that's like from a year or two ago. But okay, I'm gonna read this just to give you an idea. I have no idea what it says, but I know it's not good. But I mean, when I need to vent, I need to vent because he does not accept responsibility for his feelings, his words, his actions. It's always my fault the way he is acting, okay? And it drives me crazy. I said that crazy, whacked out narcissist from hell thinks it's okay to flip the fuck out and call me names, yell at me at the top of his lungs, demand that I be happy about whatever he thinks I should be happy about, and demand that I talk to him about whatever he's got a lot to learn. This is exactly why I refuse to do what he wants me to do. He still thinks for some crazy reason that he has a right to make demands on another human being, another adult. Richard, get a fucking clue. You can't treat me or anyone the way you treat me and think it's okay, right? Or or that it's going to fly.
Kelly, could you turn your volume up a little? They're just saying it's hard to hear.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just
Oh
glancing
my
over and I
gosh.
cannot tell you.
Is it
I
louder
pretty much
now?
yell when I talk. I hope you guys can hear me.
Is it louder now, you guys?
I don't know, is it?
Maybe I just need to talk louder.
Yeah,
I don't think he can hear me, but
I talk
anyway.
loud because, I don't know.
Okay, if y'all can't hear me, let me know. Not
She said not
really.
really. It
Really?
doesn't mean
Huh. I wonder why. That is weird. Oh my gosh, it's falling off of my ears too. Well, do I have it turned the wrong way? You say something. No?
she said a little better. Yeah, they said my volume's good, but I pretty much shout talk, you guys. I mean, I'm sorry, I
Okay,
just
I'll
do.
try to talk louder. Um, let's see. It says, I will not be treated like a child or an unequal like you treat me. Never ever. You cannot, no matter how fucking shell shocked you are, flip out and speak to me like you do. Just because you don't like what I say does not mean you can treat me bad. Period. Get a fucking grip on your I can't even read my own writing, on your anger, I think. You are far worse than I ever was, and you are wrong to think I will ever do what you say I have to do or else. Stuff your anger up your ass and control yourself and your anger. I don't make you do shit. You do it all on your own. Because he's always saying, you make me get
That's right.
mad.
That's
Um,
right.
you do it all on your own. Don't be so ignorant. You control you. I don't control you, and I never will. I control me. Again, stop trying to control me. Stop thinking you can or have any right to control what I like and don't like. He tried to tell me, um, you're gonna pay rent and be happy about it. I'm like, you can't tell a person what they can be happy about. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, and he comes with such off the wall stuff. And at the minute I bring something up and try to point out like something to him, his immediate response is to twist it to make it my fault. Listen, there was a roach in our kitchen the other day, and he said it's my fault because I talked him into moving to Florida.
It's kind of laughable, buddy.
Isn't that? But he was
Hmm.
serious.
Well, and
He
it's
was.
it, I think I get incensed at a grown ass man in his 80s doing this. Come on, buddy.
It's
You
so
know.
pathetic.
And the problem is that's who they are, like inside.
Yeah.
Like they,
And so, you know what? I barely talk to him, and I treat him with disdain, and he knows, I mean, he sees that, and it really upsets him,
yeah, you
but
can't win.
I
Can't win.
can't be nice to him because he made me this way.
Well, and being nice again in a relationship, there's an expectation that how I treat you is what I'm going to get back, right?
Yeah.
That's an expectation, which is why we're nice to people. We learn this in preschool
Right.
classes,
Right.
do unto others. I mean, it's a basic relationship tenet. And so when you're not in a relationship, like, when you have a brother, when you have a parent, when it's an ex or roommate or whatever arrangement, it's
Uh-huh.
not the same as two partners coming together and then saying, well, look, if this isn't working, we're splitting up. It's like,
Right.
what do you do now? Different
Yeah.
dynamic. You can't require him to play fair, but there's a lot of tools you can start to use to know that you are not a victim of his, that
Yeah.
won't get your ire up or waste your energy, right?
Oh
There's a
my
lot
God.
of the tools
It
that you
takes
can do.
exactly 2 seconds for me to explode. I mean, all he has to do is say one half a sentence, and I'm there.
Does he do it because he's bored or wants some? It's
No,
called
because he thinks
narcissistic
he's
supply.
right, because
But
he thinks he's right, and that
but
I'm a bad.
narcissistic supply is like, you have a relationship with narcissist in your life, like my brother and I. Everything's going smooth, and then bam, out of nowhere. And I could never make sense of it. Or my mom, I'm like, are we good? Are we cool? Are we cool? And then she's in my business and up and down. What is wrong with these people? They need drama. That's what they have, a problem. They are the problem. We're not the problem. So
Right.
so what happens is, if you can not give them any supply, it's called being gray rock. Some people call it yellow rock,
You
yellow
just don't
light.
you don't react, you mean?
As little as possible, and then if you hear like a sentence that's designed for them to get narcissistic supply, like a poke, so you go, ouch, that's they're wanting to get attention, drama,
Uh,
gets you angry. It makes them so
yes.
happy when you're
Yes.
angry. So if you just go, oh, so okay, so I'm bipolar. Okay. All right.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you. You don't go, there's never been a doctor in my entire life, which is what I do,
That's what I
that's
do too.
ever called me bipolar. But this is the thing. If you can't walk away, which Janet and you, so far it sounds like Poet got rid of his problem. She's an ex. Mine is an ex, but I know that in terms of the scars, the trauma, even getting close to people, how we talked about that, it's like,
Yeah.
you're a little jumpy. You take things a little sensitive, like, is that
Yeah.
person what do they mean by that?
Yeah.
Because you're not able to undo it. It's like,
Right.
but in
Right.
terms of like, so if it's not dangerous, like Janet's got a volatile, dangerous, and I'd say felonious brother. He's doing felonies.
Uh-huh.
If he's violent, if he's threatening, if he's breaking stuff and pounding anything, doing any of that, burning rubber out the back driveway, like my parents used to, any of that, it's all threatening behavior and it's not
Yeah.
allowed. Touching you, forget about it. Breaking your stuff,
He
hiding
doesn't
your
do
stuff,
that anymore.
lying. We'll see anymore. Yeah. So, but all these things are kind of deal breakers in the realm of life.
Yeah.
She says, when my brother sends me a text, or a mean texts you and I don't reply, it infuriates him. Of course it would, because you won't engage. Because every single exchange starts friendly, and then hey, that was my brother. Sign me up.
Uh-huh.
I got one of those.
Oh, it's
This
when
is
he's
why he's no
drinking.
contact,
Now,
no contact. And I don't see my mom anymore. Guess what? I had enough years of that lady, and I felt like, people lose their mom at all ages, right? Moms don't live forever. I'm not gonna live forever.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I had enough years with her. We're good. She's 80 something. I don't care. They're gone. Those two, he lives with her. He took over
Right.
her house, and they tried to They tried to undermine me and didn't. No, no, no. So once she did that, it was like on like Donkey Kong. It's like, who are you? You're not my. You didn't. Where's your morals? Where's your values? What is wrong with you? And what she said to me the last time, and I walked out the house going, good to know. She said, you, she screams like that, you talk to me. And
Oh my gosh.
I go, oh. And she goes, none of my friends want you to come to dinner with us anymore. I go,
Oh
it's been
my
like 5 years
gosh.
since I've been to dinner with her alcoholic country club assholes. Alcoholics. But all driving, their old people cars, like, and
That's what
living
my
in
mom is. She's an
big
alcoholic
houses on the
too.
golf course. But fucking, I don't like those people anyway. So she's
Right.
like, none of my friends. I go, well, who? Who? And she goes, so and so and so. And I thought, those old raisin ranch people, ew.
Right.
And then, but that's a little bit of my little sass.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? This lady, I'm sitting across her and I go, this lady's 80 something. She ain't getting any better. She wanted a relationship with the wonderful and amazing moi. She would have treated me right.
Right.
So
Right.
guess what, mom? Mwah, bye-bye. It's
Well,
been
my
nice
my
knowing you.
mom
We're out.
just like she doesn't believe in like talking and like
Oh no,
she
my mom doesn't either.
letting me know how she's feeling so we can talk about it and so I don't have to be homeless. Like she could have like given me a clue that she was going to kick me out, and so then we could have maybe worked it out, but no. She'd rather not talk about it, act like nothing ever happened, like nothing's wrong, and then just carry on with life. And I don't think her nor my sister have ever apologized about anything to me. I was always the one apologizing, always. And,
That's just textbook. I mean, it's textbook. It's sad. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. It's traumatizing. It's awful. I,
but
I really, I really want to emphasize how that hurts. It's not okay. It's not normal.
no,
I deserve love. You deserve love. You're a great person.
I,
You're an amazing person.
But like
You
I
don't
said, I think
deserve
all my
that.
trauma comes from him. Like he's the one that really, when I left him, I was because I got to where I would have to lie to him about stuff in order, like,
Katie Holmes did.
not to get hit.
Yeah,
And
but like everybody has to, right?
yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter that we lied. It matters that we were safe.
And so I promised myself that I would never lie again because I didn't have to. I'm an adult and I don't need to lie. I can. And so that was a good thing that I was able to do.
It's
I
true.
mean, I lie to the police sometimes, but um, not to my mom or anybody else because
Well,
I don't. There's nothing I do that I need to lie about. And
these
then, but
people don't
he
have
used to
an I'm
make
sorry in them. There's not gonna be an I'm sorry.
He used to sit me down, make me sit down on the couch, and he would lecture me
Mhm.
for 2 to
Yep.
4 hours.
I
And I
retired,
would be
man.
I would be trying to like keep my eyes open and oh, it was
You were
miserable.
like you were like the kid in class, like
Yes, and I couldn't there's
anymore.
nothing I could do. I couldn't just get up because then I'd get in more trouble. It
Yes.
was a
Yes.
total parent, like he was the
Yes. Well, that's
parent.
what they designed that. They designed that coming in. So
And
when
do
you
you
shoot,
know he used
the
to
only way out
chain
is not to do it in the first place. Like,
listen, he used
what
to
are you gonna
chain the steering wheel to the brake in our truck so I wouldn't um, take the truck and leave him.
was this in California?
We lived in Las Vegas um, for 13 years, you know.
Lost wages.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, he used to, of course, he had control of the bank account. My name was on nothing. I mean, it was just pathetic. And he told me that um, I didn't get anything in the divorce because I didn't deserve it because I left him. well, you left me. You didn't deserve to get anything. I'm like, you are nuts. You are just wacko.
Well,
He said,
I
hi,
have a
Red.
YouTube
Hi,
video for
Red.
that too.
I mean, in his mind, because I said, I had to leave you. I got away with my life, for God's sake. And
Yes,
oh,
you
God.
did.
It's just,
You did. Okay, so there's two kinds of things that can happen. There can be the one that's the domestic violence where if you leave them, they don't want you with anybody else, right? The most dangerous type ever. Um, those relationships, whew, this is different. The narc doesn't necessarily, they will kill you in the end because your health is going to go,
well, excuse
but they
me.
don't want you to go because as long as you're supplying them with some, drama, that's what they want.
3 months after I left him, I moved from Las Vegas to Missouri, and I get a call from Las Vegas homicide, and they say, "Can you come get your dogs?" I'm like, "What's he being charged with?" Murder. He got 4 life sentences, and 13 years later he was out because
How do you,
he ended up proving it was self-defense. So I'm telling you, I got away with my life. He used to tell me, I could shoot you and bury you in the desert and no one would find you. And after he pulled a
what?
gun to my head one time, that's when I booked. When he went to the store one day, I booked. And
Ugh.
so, of course, he doesn't remember doing that. He said I held him hostage with the gun. I've never held a gun
Well,
in my
how freaking
life.
laughable. I mean,
He,
come on.
he doesn't remember doing it. And anyway,
Oh my
let me
God.
read
No.
some of these. I mean, I have so many stories.
You do. And this is
It's
okay. So
so
as you
pathetic.
uncouple your trauma bond, not trauma bond, but your the trauma, it's in different layers. I mean, this is a
Oh
lot
my God.
to
I
be
mean,
burdened with, to be
he
carrying.
sexually abused me. He
Ugh.
physically abused me at the end. He, of
The
course,
man should be
emotionally,
in prison. In prison. He should be in prison. This
he
is
should be.
laws
Um,
for guys like him.
let's see. Poet says, I don't think I really ever heard my ex say, I'm sorry. I was wrong and you, you're right. That's
There's
oh
no
my
I'm
gosh. I'm so
sorry
glad you're
coming.
here, Red. Um, be right back. He has to take his doggy Phil out.
You guys, I'm
Jan
sweating
says,
so bad. I have to get up in my chair because it's like a pool of liquid, like I'm sitting in. Ah,
um,
it's gross. Gross,
gosh,
gross, gross.
I'm trying to keep up
I'm gonna
with all
sit on
this.
this flannel shirt.
Um, Jen says, according to my mother, I'm the biggest POS piece of shit as a mother, a wife, and a woman in general. That's terrible. I also never amount to
It is
anything.
terrible.
That is so horrible.
That's not fair. It's not okay. You're amazing. You're a survivor, amazing, a thriver. Like you said,
Oh,
laughs on her. I say the same thing. I'm taking this show on the road, peeps. See ya. Like I did so much with my life. Did I ever get a yay, you done it, yay? No.
no,
It's not even what have you done for me lately, but it's a little of that. It's
yeah.
you made me feel jealous. Really, mom? Uh, you know,
Oh,
talk to God
that's,
about that one. I mean, what do I got?
yeah,
So
really.
yeah. Kelly, your story, it just is breaking my heart. It's so hard.
Oh my God. I
I
mean, I'm
used to
okay
teach
now
domestic
because
violence in high schools when I was in my 20s about domestic cycle of violence and what you've been through.
I I'm
Man should be in
okay. I
prison.
mean, I'm okay now because
Sorry, you
like I
guys, I'm
said,
smoking a clove.
I do not put up with anything from him. And
But it's
like
still
I
getting to you not to be with someone
well,
who respects you, who
well
holds you
or
up.
no, that doesn't like if I can logically explain
Mhm.
something to you, he refuses to even try to understand or try to see
It's really called
understand what I'm
crazy
saying.
making. Crazy making is what it's called.
He
They're
wants to
crazy makers.
say like the reason I'm in a wheelchair is because I didn't listen to him and do what he said. So
What?
yeah, I'm in a wheelchair because I didn't listen to him. Well, if you would have done what
I
told
think
you,
you should just come move out here with me, Kelly.
I'm telling you,
I
um,
don't like you. I don't like you. That's I don't like
and
you.
he like I said, it is he
All
will
right.
he will twist things
Tell
in a
me to
way
smoke on
that doesn't
camera, you
even make
guys.
sense to try to make it my fault. I mean, it is so far fetched what he tries to do
So
to
he's
make it my
he's
fault.
86. 86.
87s, something like
And
that.
you moved back in how long ago?
2.5 years ago.
So 2.5 years. So how did you feel before moving back in? I know Janet
Um,
said it. Janet
I
said what I'm
was
thinking.
I was still um a little scared of him. Like I couldn't
Well,
talk
you had
back.
trauma. He's the bad guy.
And but listen, so on the drive out here from California to Florida, um, he called me a liar one night because I was paying for a hotel room, and my bank moved my money from my checking account into my savings account. So when I ran my card, it didn't work. So he called me a liar and said that, I didn't have any money. I was lying to him. Well, that I finally reached my limit that night and I blasted him and he threatened to leave me in Phoenix. He, made all the threats. We fought all the way across America, driving from coast to coast, and I haven't backed down since. He's like, "What happened to you? You used to be so sweet." I said, "No, it's
You're like, now I got my
because
middle finger for you, pal.
I couldn't I said, because you ruled me, you were the boss, and I was too afraid to. He said, I was never like that. Anyway, whatever.
No, denial is the crazy making. Like they could be in bed with somebody and you go, what are you doing in bed with what woman or what man? They're just lying their ass off in broad daylight with the facts in front of them.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
he
this is
treated me so bad. He had so many girlfriends when I was with
oh yeah.
him, and I
Because
would put
the
up with it.
narcissism is my dad was a total philanderer, nonstop cheater. And it's that whole need for this
Attention.
supply. The supply is what they don't have a self. They're hollow inside. And
I
I mean,
know. It's so funny because,
I,
I
I
mean,
just
how can they not realize that they are like as sick
and
as they
here's one of
are?
the issues in the world is that they have gotten away with this. People don't put
Yeah.
any constraints on. So like Janet's brother, like my brother, who he's kind of a failure, so he didn't get too powerful. But people in all these positions are the narcissist. Most presidents of the United States are narcissists. I could
Yeah.
say maybe
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter wasn't, but you've got people that want that power, want that control. Try living with one. It's
Right.
not for you. It's you're good like a coffee pot. When I need you, oh, you're great. You're a nice coffee pot. When I'm not drinking coffee tomorrow, I mean, whatever day, I don't coffee pots on the counter. Just sit there like you should. I'm not, you
Yeah.
don't contribute, So it's very demeaning. It's it makes you question everything in your life about yourself.
How can I handle living with him?
I know.
It
I
must be
know.
so hard. Well, it is kind of hard, but not that hard. But I don't have any choice. I feel right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
None of my family. My sister talks to me, but she's living in Colorado, and she doesn't. I
Well,
don't think she
family
really
isn't
wants me
always
to.
the healthy ones because they don't always acknowledge the elephant in the room, like
Well,
I got
and she.
gaslit about my ex-boyfriends who were totally abusive to me that I had put up with till I didn't. But then I'd get gaslit. Well,
Yeah.
he was honest as the day is long. What the are you that's a pathological liar. Hello. So that's
Right.
what kind of shit goes on with so you don't like really your allies are not your family
Right.
unless you have somebody that's just like Mother Teresa, Saint whoever.
And
It's not
also,
your family.
okay, since I got nothing in the divorce, um, he did put me in his will, which he threatens to take all the time, but he hasn't made that threat in about a month.
Only
So,
a month? Holy
yeah,
oh
well,
god.
that's a
Oh,
long time. That's a long time for him. And he threatened to kick me out because he said that, I'm the one causing all the arguments and he hates to argue. Well, I never stopped and I never will unless, he can,
you're not arguing,
whatever.
Kelly, you're not arguing. What you're doing is
Right.
you're not allowing your boundaries to get crossed.
Right, right. That's what it is. And
That's
listen,
what you're standing up
he
for what is normal.
he keeps being the one to back down. I don't back down. But he
Good,
is
good.
slowly but surely, like he's like tonight he said something, he's like, "Well, you never even talked to me, so how would I know?" And I'm like, "You're right. I can't talk to you."
Because
Um
I
I
don't have
said,
any,
"There's
this isn't fun.
nothing for me to talk to you about
Right,
because I don't like him
right.
because if I try to make small talk, it will eventually turn into an argument somehow
Yeah.
because he will make a snide remark like, that my life is so bad because I didn't listen to him or, just something. And
Well, and it's like, dude, is it helpful to tell me
I
I'm
know,
the one suffering from the bike accident? It's
I
not
know.
that I did something wrong. Everybody
Right.
all day long is getting in wrecks and hurting themselves.
What
It's
a
like
fucking jackass. Well, who would tell a person, well, you're
nobody
crippled
does that.
because you didn't do what I told you to do? You didn't listen to me. Fuck you. You weren't even around when I had my
That
accident.
is
What are
about
you
as
talking?
immature and insensitive.
I
Like,
know.
it's like I just keep wanting I don't want to insult alligators and reptiles because they're beautiful. But I mean, it's very reptilian to think I can just gaslight this person who I can clearly see has been a champion in all
But
ways,
he
survivor,
really, he
thriver.
really, he really thinks that he
Get the look at
is,
yourself in the mirror. You
he really believes that
really, dude?
he is like such a good person.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he told me tonight, and he always
That's
tells
what
me,
they do.
"You're the only one that argues with me." I'm like, "You're the only one that
Check.
argues with me."
Yep. Check.
And
Oh,
he's
I got told by a very abusive person who'd been a rage. I mean, kicking doors, pounding their fist through doors, yelling outside, hey, and profanities and just beating, just tons of physical violence. I'm the only one they've ever had a
uh,
fight. I said, then why did the cops get called on you with this person and with that person? How come
right,
you told me the one thing in your life that's wrong with your whole life is your anger?
yeah,
How come I bought this book on managing rage and you read it and you actually put down that your rage is just a normal day in your life, your rage is at a 5. And I go, I'm at a 1, a 0. I'm never mad. I mean, I react like I am right now about your ex, but I mean,
yeah.
come on. I'm
But
the only one. I
anyway,
was like, are,
I mean, so anyway,
who do you
so
think you're talking to?
I'm getting like he paid cash for this place, and so I get this place, but he wants to move to Arizona, and I kind of do too.
I
So
know.
hopefully
I'm
we'll
just
sell
worried.
it.
I'm worried for both of you, but I'm worried for you in a way. But he's old. I mean, how is he in
Yeah,
great
but he's
shape?
in good shape, and he
All
eats
right.
better than I do, and I smoke.
Yeah. All right.
So geez, I don't know who's gonna
I
die
mean,
first.
87 is still 87. I don't know.
Yeah.
People, places, and perspectives.
Hi, PPP.
The three P's.
Just arriving and look
Three
forward to hearing
P's.
more. Yes, so many narcissists in the world. Oh gosh, I've had a lot of
Yeah. Well,
experiences
here,
with
you
them
guys,
too.
I something from my job that we just started this year. We had to take a class. I don't have any light in here because Kelly and I decided it was too bright. But it says, okay, hold on. I'm retarded. Not retarded. I'm
Trauma informed
That's my
organization.
company. That's the state of California
Cool.
Corrections and Rehabilitation.
Wow.
Because suicide is very high amongst correctional officers, sadly. Their their PTSI is off the hook. It's probably 50% higher than vets.
Wow.
you
I
know.
wonder, and is that
Because
because of the
vets aren't
environment?
guarding the bad guy. They're in a prison guarding these bad guys.
It just wears on them?
They could get shanked, jumped, whatever at
Yeah.
any time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not even it's a daily. They get killed regularly. They get
Yeah.
maimed, injured.
Yeah.
One of the things in this class we took was an example of a correctional officer taking a guy out in a stretcher to go somewhere. He kicked his knee out to where the bone was.
Mm.
So,
Wow.
and this was two correctional officers. It was standard procedure, whatever. They have their weapons on them or however they carry people around. But this guy decided to kick this guy's knee out.
Mm.
So, yeah. Other times they just off themselves or they get offed.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's mayhem, you know? It's not okay. But anyway, we have to have him because there are our safety. So I was just going to say trauma. This is a trauma appendix, and it says things like security. We should all have a right to security. These are our expectations. These are our
Right.
rights.
Right.
These are things that we don't even expect sometimes because of our backgrounds, our childhoods,
Right.
or what we've
Right.
endured, what we've put up with, how survival went for us on the streets. You don't expect safety on the streets. You just
No.
hope today
No.
goes good. But it's security, um, self expression. That should not be clamped down. Well, this ain't North Korea here, people. Um, self respect, and whatever you need to have your self respect intact.
Right.
Um, your spirituality should not be impeded on in any way by
Mm-mm.
anybody. Um, there should be transparency. And this is another thing because a lot of narcissists in relationships and stuff hide the money, hide their affairs,
Yep.
they're so sneaky, they're so horrifyingly like slimy and just liars, just lying and lying. That's not transparent. We have
Well,
an
they have to keep the upper hand,
until they don't.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
Okay, so
exactly.
truth, just truth. Just this is what I asked for as a child. Can you just be honest, you guys? Come on. This is all I ever wanted from my childhood.
Boy,
Honesty,
you guys,
truth.
I railed on Mitch Brisker so hard tonight.
Oh, I want to see that. I
Oh my
can't
gosh.
wait.
I
We're
I mean,
talking about a
I think
narcissist right
I think
there.
I am such a mean bitch in that video I made right before this to Mitch
I
because
just want to
he
mention.
pushed me to my limit like my ex-husband did. Mitch Brisker actually pushed me to my limit. I used to give him
Yeah,
grace and mercy,
yeah.
and I just couldn't after what I saw him. I saw right through him. He used that girl and her channel
Well, she's
to twist
gonna
the
turn
knife
tomorrow.
into Aaron, a little bit more and to just really um, he had it out for Aaron. Boy,
And even if Aaron says it doesn't bother him, it's still not okay. It may not
no,
bother him.
it's
It
not.
may bother him.
And
He
you
may
know
not
what?
talk about it, but
It's like,
it's not
okay,
okay.
so Mitch showed some text that Aaron sent saying if you go on there, I'm going to make a video about you. So he said
I
the
remember
minute
that.
he threatened me, I decided he didn't say it this way, but in other words, he said I decided, it's game on. I'm going to talk about him now. And I'm like, Aaron tried to, he didn't like flash it for the world to see, but you decided that you wanted everybody to see how horrible Aaron is. And maybe it wasn't right for Aaron to say that, but
He
at
brought
least he
Jenna.
wasn't
No, he
he
brought
wasn't
Jenna in.
broadcasting it to the world. He asked, I
Mitch
said,
brought
if
Jenna in, and Aaron was like, "Oh hell no,
if
no."
you had a girlfriend that was railing on you and you asked Aaron to please not go on her channel, you would want him to respect you. And, that way I said, you had no care or concern for Aaron's feelings at all. And now what? Mitch Brisker was acting like they were besties, like him and that girl were. Oh, I
She's
just
unhinged.
we
She's
just
dangerous.
connected. We just
She's
connected so fast
she's
and
crazy.
like they were best friends. Anyway,
I
so
took one look at her and went, "That is one of the most toxic people I've ever seen." Like, and I saw her in Nora's stream
she
for
didn't even
people.
bother me that much. He did.
Oh,
She
bleh,
really didn't
bleh.
because he was just using her and he
But the thing with
anyway I don't want to
Mitch,
talk about
he's
him
tone deaf.
anymore.
He's totally tone deaf. He
Yeah.
was so mean to Jenna that what are you gonna do? Say nothing? I mean,
Who was mean to Jenna?
Mitch, he started this.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, he posted something that apparently was old, but he just
Oh,
re,
I didn't.
put it out that the Miscavige getting passed around kind of a thing. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
really?
I remember something about
You're
that.
really
Oh, yeah, that.
Purple Groovy?
Yeah,
Hi.
it was a real snide remark that he
Not
that.
snide. No, this was insidious. That you do not. Them's fighting words. I'm sorry. This is
Yeah,
not okay. It's not okay.
that.
It'd
Oh,
be
that
like it'd
that
be like
that
one of
he.
us saying something about
It
Mitch's
was
kid.
something
We wouldn't
like
do that.
he was saying "fuck you" to Miscavige, but then he was fucking a Miscavige at the same time. That's what he's something like that.
All of it is so. Again, I go back to he's immature,
Yeah,
right? He's
yeah.
immature, and
Well, people, hi,
he's
Purple
so selfish.
Groovy,
I know Purple Groovy's
welcome.
here.
Well,
We're
so
probably almost
people,
done. I don't know. Are we leaving soon? Because it's been an hour. Is
yeah,
that an
pretty
hour or
soon.
100
Yeah,
minutes? I don't know how to
it
look at
has
them.
been an hour, and people are gonna think I am such a bitch.
Why? No, we're not.
but
We're
but
not.
I
First
well
of all,
y'all
we're not.
y'all won't maybe, but
Well, who cares? But
people
again,
I
here's
don't
the thing.
care. I don't care, but I'm gonna
You
try
know
not
who
to do
matters
that
to my
anymore.
opinion of me? Me.
Yeah.
I care to look myself in the mirror every day. I matter to my opinion of me. Why? Because if I start listening to anybody else, I'll be out in the breeze like
Yeah.
the wind. One day someone likes me, the next day, I didn't like your
I
hair up.
have to I
I
always
like
feel
the
like
jewelry. I like your hair down. Whatever.
I
Screw
always feel
you.
like I have to take up for the protesters and it never ends because
Well,
if they
Maryland
start
certainly
saying bad
does.
things about us, I am going to take up for us. They throw the first punch, that gives me the right to punch back. That's what I
Well,
told
and
them.
again, I think for all of the people with the channel, I mean, again, some channels choose not to, doesn't matter,
Yeah.
no biggie. Other people have been very directly attacked, like Marilyn, but
Yeah, but she's a little
but
nicer than I am.
but you're allowed to. Well, she was being diplomatic, I suppose.
Yes, she was.
Did
She
you
was.
talk about healing modalities with narcissistic people? So I don't have so much healing modalities, but I do know that there's many boundaries that you do set and certain ways to set them. But everything is kind of the type of narcissist, the situation, like if you can leave, if you can't. So
We're going to have
narcissistic
to
people
do
at
another
work.
show. We're going to have
Yeah,
to
and
do
that's
another
why I said
show.
your homework, y'all, is listen to Dr. Romney's YouTube channel.
Yeah,
And
we'll
she's
do
got some
another
great
show like in
there.
a few days maybe or next time you're off and like finish up some of
Yeah,
the
or it can be after work. I mean, I sit in here and then
Okay.
I can do this after 5. But,
Okay.
so for people, places, and perspectives, did you, have anything in particular, like because if it's more specific, it's easier. Like, you'll see that we talked about, like, there's overt, covert narcissism, then there's community narcissists who think they're, like, do-gooders, but they're really all about themselves. We've all met those, and so on and so forth, and there's some that rage a lot more than others, and I mean they could be a blend of covert with the rage. I mean, it goes on and on.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not easy. The work ones, they'll stab you in the back, they'll extract stuff out of you, and you'll think, oh good, you'll be acting normal, and they'll take whatever and they'll and use it to get you fired or to get your life
Yeah.
miserable,
Yeah.
or tell all your secrets or smear campaign, whatever. So this is why I'm asking, like, do you have anybody particular? Triple P
Right.
or
Right.
Purple Groovy, anything? Or Janet, anything?
Anybody?
Is there
Just
anybody out
sorry.
there? So I should tell you guys, I was a singer in a band
Oh yeah.
that I started myself. I'd always sang, but I feel like I had to have a voice because I was being who people wanted me to be all of my life, to stay alive, to play the game that got me the shelter, the food, etc. And like Pop Groomer, she was all, peace out, mom. Eventually, you could peace out. But when you're a kid in the house, right,
Yeah.
you're da, 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 or you're the guy that I was telling Kelly I'm the clown. I was the clown. I was the jester. I'm
What
juggling as
she
fast
said
as I
what
can.
tell them what you told me about when you were 7.
So in my house, it wasn't going so great as far as I could tell. And I'm a truth teller in the home, right? I'm the truth teller. And my mom had said something, and I go, well, how old do I have to be to leave home?
How,
And I'm looking
you
up,
were 7. You were
I was
7,
7,
right?
and I'm looking up at her, and she goes, you have to be 18 to leave home. And I go, okay, fine. When I'm 18, the day I turn 18, I'm out of here. So,
But
and
you
that was
wanted to run away at 7, didn't
not
you?
even run away, but I wanted to do it on good terms,
Oh,
which
okay.
I shouldn't have. I should have run away. I really did try to find families to take me in,
Oh
adopt
my
me, and
gosh.
raise me
Wow.
because I could tell
Wow.
the difference between real
Yeah.
love and manipulative love or
Wow.
non-love, just manipulation, period. Here's a nice dress you need to wear to this party to show off as us as a family so we look like
Right.
the country club family. And then your needs don't matter. I used to say I hated Christmas because she'd be like, don't ruin Christmas with your real feelings. That was my mom.
Oh
That's her.
my gosh.
And I swore to you,
Oh.
I was born so opposite. And I was always like, I'm never going to be like, I would rather be Margaret Sanger or whatever her name was, or, like a scientist, inventor, like a woman who doesn't wear any makeup. I always wanted to be like, I'm going to be known for my mind, not marrying some joker, some asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So people,
Okay.
places. I don't think places and perspectives hurt us, but anyway, you guys, you could talk to him, Kelly, and just tell him like for future conversations or whatever. And I can
But
even get
okay,
handouts because
we'll
I have
plan on
again.
coming back on this week sometime. I will definitely let y'all know when we're going to do that. And so let's see. Says PPP says, well, it's not easy to explain right now. It's a
Yeah,
current
I get it.
situation and a
I get
loved one,
it.
not a mate, but important family member. Ah, I'm
I
needing
get
some
it.
more tools to handle it better. My own emotional pain.
Let me put it in one
Yeah.
more time, just because I think this person has done all of our research for us. If you type this into the YouTubes, you will find a wealth of information. I personally say to this woman, she saved my life. I
Dr.
mean,
Romani.
kept me from going because
Right.
I was at the point where I was like, what else can and I was like, so I think I'm glad I'm still here. I always say it every day. I go, I'm still here to annoy. Um, I
Yeah,
am, therefore
thank
I
you. Thank you
annoy.
so much. Janet says thank you for sharing your
You're
thoughts
welcome,
on this. It's
Janet. I hope
important.
so. Okay, people, place, and perspectives. Well, maybe she can have you on and you guys can talk about it, and I'll be in the chat or something because maybe you want to discuss it, with
I think
with Kelly or something.
I don't really have any answers, so we'll have you back on.
Well, we could fit more
Anyway,
people in. I don't have to be the only one in here. Someone else could come in.
yeah, we're gonna sign off, and y'all, thank you so much for coming over and making an audience for us. um, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna come on. I've been coming on like at 4:20 in the morning. I don't know if I'm gonna do that tonight because I didn't get much sleep last night.
Aw.
So,
I feel like I don't want to compete with people. I want their channels to do well, and I'm like,
but
look at me, I'm all blurry. I got to get a camera, and oh my god!
But
But thank you.
anyway, yeah,
Maybe
thank y'all so much, and I will see you on the flip side. I love you guys,
cool.
and
It's
I
itty
appreciate
bitty.
your support. See you
Thank you,
next
Kelly.
time.
Mwah, 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 mwah,
Bye,
mwah.
y'all.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you. Thank you.
No
Hold
problema.
on. Let me
Bye.